Hey, what is going on, everybody? Boilon here, and welcome to the final event video for the month of November, which is Weapons Online. Some of you might be wondering why this video is coming a little bit late, and that's because we didn't know the information regarding the energy to fragment ratio for this event. Now we do, because the event's gone live. I wish that in the future, Archangel did put it on the blog that one time for that one event, or the last time we had to do something like this. And I really hope that they'll go back to doing this again, because it allows us to get a little bit of a heads up. That being said, they actually did change the milestone in game, so I want to cover that a little bit, talk about the differences, and also what you're going to need to do to be able to max this event out, or at least as much as you can before the Whalestones. So if you're ready to go, then let's boil this down. So let's just start here in the Weapons Online milestone here. So one thing that did change is that the spend power core function has moved from 4 points to 5 points. Also, they changed the rewards a little bit. So when you come down here, I believe they added 50 Thor Infinity War shards. That was not on the milestone on the blog, the table on the blog. Also, the points required for the item, the indestructible paint, was shifted from, I think, 51,500 to 54,200. So it's a little bit higher. We're still going to be able to get it, but we'll go through the math anyways to see whether or not you'll be able to get to this milestone 15 for Korg. I would not really expect much more than that, though. If you're going really hard, and this is where more changes were made for the whales, or the whales and the krakens, is that there's 120. There's actually a total of 250 Mystic G18 minis. That's a lot, actually. Like in terms of gold from the supply store, that's a lot of gold. So they added this in. I believe it was only 70 before down here, but they added more here. And they also added an extra diamond orb for those spenders. But for the majority of us, we're not. We're maybe getting milestone 15. We'll see about that. One other thing that I want to kind of let you guys know about is that they added gold. Oh, yeah, here's the free claims. You can find in the web store. Make sure you're grabbing all this stuff, as well as the Superior Sinister stuff, which did come a bit late yesterday, so make sure you're still claiming all of this stuff. Interestingly, the web milestone did not contain the orb fragments until after 1 o'clock, which this is the new version of, and they have it here. So all that's there. I just wasn't sure if that was going to be in there. But yeah, so you can see in this version of the event milestone that the indestructible paint is down here at 51,500. So you can see the difference there. And if you care, you can go back to the blog post on Friday, and it'll show you all of that stuff. The other thing that I want to take a look at before we get into the math is the orb itself. What does the orb actually contain? It should be in here, right? Where is it? Down here somewhere. Pack-a-Punch orb. What are we getting? What characters are actually in this? So in the left shard, we have guarantees 1 of. Great. Okay, cool. Let's just go into the center. Guarantees 1 of 13 shards. Okay, well, what do we have? We have Invaders and Bifrost. Actually, in some Pegasus characters. We have all 3 of the newer characters, so that's not terrible. Could be worse. 8 shards, 28 shards. 15% at 28 shards actually isn't too bad. Although, I just noticed Ironheart is not in here. What the hell? Whoa, wait, hold on. 28 shards, and they have duplicate versions of Iron. Is this right? Double of Iron Fist, Union Jack. Why didn't they just lump it into 16%? And then 24% for Darkhawk. What? And they don't have Iron Man or Iron Man or Ironheart. Like, that's just absolutely crazy. All right, and just to double check again, you are going to need to have to spend your campaign energy, of course, to get fragments. What I wanted to check, though, is whether or not these are the same as some of the other ones. So it is a 6-to-1 ratio, which is nice. I just didn't get a chance to check like Heroes Hard just to make sure it's the same. So 30, 180. Okay, let's go back to like Nexus regular. I just want to see if it's the same for everybody, because sometimes they screw you over like this. 10 to 60. Okay, so that's good. So it is a 6-to-1 ratio. So let's get into the math then. And first we have to talk about this is my final recap of the month of November, and we are going to be about 113,000 surplus of points. I added everything together, all of the events basically up until now, actually, yeah, including the free claim Fridays and all of that, and we're at 913,000 if you've been keeping up with all of the events. So that means a surplus of 113 is pretty good. You could actually skip probably almost the entirety of Weapons Online and still make it if you did everything else. So know that. At least that's good to know. So let's get started. Weapons Online is a 6-day event. Now, one thing that is curious to me is this. It said here, the web milestone says total occurrence is 7, and the event itself is 6 days. So I don't know if the web milestone is actually going to run for 7 days or not. We'll find out, I suppose. I only counted 6 days of it though, as far as the web milestone goes. Even if there is an extra one somewhere, you're not going to be claiming milestone points because the event will be over. So you need 54,200 points for the event item. We're going to get 3,000 points from the free claim. You saw that earlier. That's 500 daily over 6 days for 3,000 points. And the total web milestone points, you're going to get 2,000 daily at 3,000 raid credits earned. So you do have to earn raid credits after the event goes live. So hopefully, between both of your raids and your payouts, that you'll be able to get this, depending on when your timing is and when the event kind of rolls over, that you're able to get 3,000 raid credits. I don't think it's that difficult. You just got to make sure that your raid payouts are, not overlapping or some weird thing. And then you get 5 points for spending power cores. And so I'm going to assume that most people are spending 200 power cores daily. Now, you could be spending a little bit more because the Alliance donation thing for the the Superior Sinister 6 event, the Crucible event, is still ongoing right now. But for the purposes of this, because you only need 12 people to donate 50 cores, I'm not going to assume that everyone is. So I'm not going to make this 250. I'm just making this 200, makes it very easy. And you're going to be using that on campaign energy. So the free-to-play energy, campaign energy is here. This is all of your normal energy that you should be getting per day, including the 4 refreshes, gets you up to 1,108. So now that we know that there's a 1-to-6 energy to fragment ratio, you're going to be getting about 6,648 points per day, which gives you a total over 6 days about almost 40,000. So just to remind you, everything in the sky blue, I don't know, whatever blue this is here, that's like the subtotal points. These are normally what we add down at the bottom, add them all up together. And so the reasonable milestone points for this at 200 cores is roughly 60,888. Now, I haven't actually added this over here. Or if you wanted to do 400 cores per day, what you need to do, and I normally would do this after the fact, so plus 240, and then I add this number with this, you're going to get about 75,500. So that's for 400 cores daily. Now, that is... Actually, no, that changed this one, didn't it, as well? Anyways, you can see 75,500. I'm going to drop this back to 480, so it fixes this one here. It's 60,000. So, you can notice that it's not a big difference. Between 60,800 and... Yeah, that's right. And between 60,800 and 65,500, not a huge difference. So where is that actually in the milestone? That's what I want to know. So where does that actually get us? Sorry for that. That was a bit weird just because of the way I use my formulas. 60,800 is not enough for the 100 shards of Korg. So if you really want, and 8 red star orbs, if you really want this, this isn't that important. But if you really want the 8 red star orbs, I wouldn't say it's that important, or the 100 Korg shards, which I honestly don't think that's that important either. You're going to need to spend about 400 cores daily into the campaign energy for you to be able to get this. Of course, the drop, maybe they'll change the drops in the orb because something looked really effed up when we kind of took a look at that. But if they don't, it's up to you whether or not that you want to kind of spend more campaign energy in order to get these Pack-a-Punch orbs. They don't seem that bad, but I think obviously the best characters in there at this point in time, because Bifrost and Invaders are farmable, would be the Project Pegasus characters. So whether or not they kind of fix that, I don't know, that duplicate of the drops, that was kind of weird. And it's up to you, because back over here, if you notice that even just doing 200 cores a day, you're getting almost 40,000 fragments. So that's almost 20 of these Pack-a-Punch orbs that you're getting over the course of, actually a little bit more, frankly, because this is all orb fragments. So you're getting almost the 20 orbs from here and 6 orbs from here. So almost 26 orbs that you're getting over the course of this event. Decent drops, if you still need them. Great for new players, I think, as well, to be able to get a chance to get these characters, especially if you haven't had a chance to really farm them, or you can't farm them, or whatever it takes, because you are getting these fragments regardless of where you're spending your campaign energy, which is nice, by the way. But yeah, I mean, this is just the end it's kind of like almost like a bit of a disappointing end to the month of November because it's a very easy event, but I wouldn't say the rewards are really that great, and so it's just I guess an easy 6 days before we start whatever the next struggle is going to be in December for that month long. We know that there's going to be an event store that's going to be following that, and so there's going to be an event store and a brand new December month long. Probably a new patch, honestly, in like 2 weeks. I think that's what you could expect, maybe a little bit sooner. I'm just looking at my calendar. I would wager that the next patch, patch 7.6, is going to be on December the 12th or the 13th, but it very well could be next week. Well, no, actually, no, because this event will still be running. So it's probably not that. So it's probably going to be December 12th and 13th when we can expect patch 7.6. So that's going to be the end of this video. Not super long this time. But yeah, not that difficult. I'll be posting this up on Discord as well in a short time. So if you want to share this with your alliance and whatnot, then feel free to do so. Otherwise, that's going to be the end of this video, everyone. And until next time, stay safe and healthy, and I'll see you all later. Boilon signing out.